Ah, the feared 9 to 5 space. The most stressful environment known to man. Much more terrifying than the trenches from World War I, and even more scary than a League of Legends player after a 6-round losing streak who is steam fapping to Briar's sweaty and dirty feet at 3 in the morning whilst lighting up a scented candle to mask the tear-dropping odor in the room that hasn't been ventilated for 4.5 weeks. Only real men survive the 9 to 5. Many are crushed by it. Many don't come back alive. I have seen so many eyes filled with joy, laughter and hope slowly fade into eyes of soullessness. You know that glitter in your eye, signaling that you are not emotionally damaged. Yet, well, many lost that glitter. Many did not survive. All jokes aside, the 9 to 5 workplace is genuinely such a depressive position to be at. Some genuinely have PTSD from it, even going to the point of banning or censoring the word job on Twitter. But unfortunately, if you do not want to be unemployed because you want to eat something, and you realize that you cannot live off of your parents anymore, and if you are not going to college or having any streams of income on the side to survive in this world, your only option left is the 9 to 5 world. So I present you the 9 to 5 survival guide on how to not suffer at your job. Now, it is important that you watch this video to the very end. Not really because I want the watch time, even though I really want it and I would love it if you watched until the end, but because every piece of advice listed in this video is actually really important. Now, to the boomers of the channel. What is really wrong with the 9 to 5 place? Well, I don't really know, man. It is just, from my perspective, the paychecks compared to the economy are very low. You work with brain-dead individuals. You're constantly reminded that you're probably not good at your job. You're expected to care about your job, even though showing more care wouldn't really increase your paycheck. It is expected of you to dedicate a huge part of your life and time for it. And the last thing, and the most important thing, many do not see an escape. You work for a paycheck that will be spent on groceries and rent, leaving you with not much. You cannot really afford a house, you cannot afford a family, you cannot really afford a future. Right now, I barely support my family, and I cannot imagine how can I even support my imaginary wife and imaginary kids. This isn't really living, it is survival, and when you constantly focus on survival, you cannot thrive. You are not at peace, you are not living. I am at peace knowing that I can put food on the table, but I'm not at peace because I do not see a bright future ahead if I continue working like this. So yes, it is pretty normal for younger generations to feel miserable working for nothing. My grandfather built a house from working a normal job as an electrician in some random factory. I cannot do that with this military job, not even in 100 years with this economy. And even if I could realistically build something with that, I cannot envision myself working up to 60 years of age. Imagine spending the best years of your life, when you have the most energy and power and hunger for life, just to spend in a warehouse, scanning random QR and barcodes, just for your boss to yell at you because he saw you standing and texting for a total of 21 seconds, and that you scanned a total of 623 codes instead of 1200, which is the day's quota set by some random Pakistani refugee who came in 3 days ago. If we say that dating is a humiliation ritual today, jobs are also falling into that category. So, from the moment of writing this script and me working several jobs and being fully employed for more than 2 years, I compiled and created this video to help you, the younger or older individual, to better navigate the 9 to 5 workplace and to minimize the humiliation ritual. Now, what did your boy really do to justify himself even creating this video? Skip this part if you want to go directly to the advice section. During high school, I spent every summer working for a blueberry plantation, creating and attaching small pipes that will carry water to the plants. One summer, I spent directly working for the farm, collecting berries and just working with Tsigans and other races like Nepal, Bangladeshi people, Indian people, you know the drill. Later, after high school, I worked as an electrician for a bread factory. Worked for like 4 months, mostly with drunk old dudes. After that I said, fuck this shit, I go to the military. And now I'm here, 2 years into the military. I also did some small works like that didn't really last that long, that I don't really consider jobs, like mowing the lawn, cleaning the roofs, going shopping for older people, all that for small amounts of money. With this, I experienced pretty much most working environments, and the worst thing from every job is the people. I said many times that I would literally scrape shit from the walls inside the sewers just if I have the right people with me, because every single working experience can be fucked over by other people, especially if your bosses are stuck up, ignorant and incompetent fools. Which makes me think that no job is worth it if the working environment is toxic and unfriendly. No money can save your mental health if you have to spend 8 hours with these kinds of people. And you know what kind of people I mean. Karens who have reached a shit dose of entitlement, random oofy doofies who have nothing interesting to say except, "Oh, when I get home I have to start repairing my fence." Joe Schmoes who just ask you constantly, "Jel jebešishta?" And random kids who just spam slangs and memes you're not familiar with anymore. I definitely understand why many want to stay unemployed. Working a 9 to 5 really feels like a humiliation ritual sometimes. It was your decision to place yourself there and to take the punishment of just existing. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Straight from the get-go, treat your job as a side quest. I have seen so many young dudes and girls focus so hard on their jobs whilst they hate their job. They treat it like they're defusing a bomb or changing society for the better. They have this grand picture of themselves whilst working there. You, working a warehouse job or some random McDonald's or waiter job, is not contributing anything significant to society. Sorry to break that for you. It only contributes to the company you're working for, and your company only cares about profit. So this grand self-image of yourself you're having by working there, either remove it or treat yourself better and actually find a job that actually contributes something to society. What I want to say is that if you genuinely love your job, this does not apply for you. But I know for a fact that 80% of you dislike your jobs. You treat it like high school, where the only highlight of your 8 hours spent working is the last 5 minutes when you're about to leave. Saying that don't stress, don't overwork, don't overdo. You're probably not paid enough, plus you're probably not respected enough for you to stress so much about your job. By treating it like a side quest, you will not be bothering yourself and exhausting yourself mentally about it. That's a good mindset to follow. Treat your main quests as a side quests, and your side quests as main quests. I guess that my main quest should be my job, but in reality, my kickboxing training and YouTube are my main quests. These are the areas I'm actually stressing myself on purpose. Oh, my skills are falling, my cardio is shit, I need to work harder. Oh, I'm getting less views, I need to focus more on my talking abilities and I need to create more content. Oh, I need to learn how to keep your attention so that you watch my videos by putting more funny memes and images on the screen. I work harder, better and faster when I focus on my side quests, whilst the main quest, which is my job, which is what I view as a side quest, is a place where I do the bare minimum. Because, hey, if no one is complaining and I do my part, why go the extra mile? It really makes me laugh when I see older folks trying to motivate younger dudes to work harder at their job. Start working the extra mile, kid. Dedicate yourself for your job and you will be respected. You will be like your old man right here. Bro, what did working that job achieve for you? You two are in the exact same place, one being 18 and the second being 50. And the difference between you two is your 2 paychecks, and that is even a very minimal difference. It is actually crazy that I do way more progress in 4 hours by working on my side hustles. Whilst I spend 8 hours at my job, it is just random bullshit and slow ass grinding. In conclusion, if you hate or dislike your job, treat it as a side quest. Don't let others make you stressed or worried about your job, when you know that your job isn't stressed about you when you aren't there. Now, I'm expecting you to already have some things doing outside of the workplace that gives you hope and motivation, because the only way of looking at your job as a side quest is by actually having something on the side. I don't know, you love writing essays or creating videos or training or doing random stuff. Yeah, to you that is probably common sense, but I have met a lot of people whose only priority in life is either school, job or their college. Like, they don't have a life outside of that. Their identity and character is only their job. Oh yes, I work in the military. Okay, what do you do outside of that? Well, I prepare for the next day and mostly day drink. Once again, that isn't bad if you truly love your job, if your job is your main priority in life. But as I said, 80% of people hate their jobs. When I have free time at my job, I mostly create ideas and scripts for these videos and some small maintenance on some of my side hustles. And these push me throughout the day, which leads me to this. Learn how to be efficient at faking tasks. You will spend the majority of your day at the job, and you have a task that can be done in, I don't know, 4 hours. Spread it for the entire shift. It is annoying when the higher ups come to your position and see you having a phone break and start bitching that you are a lazy slob just for catching you playing Clash Royale on your 10-minute break, whilst in reality you were working until that point for 5 hours straight. Unfortunately, working a job, in other words, is just masturbating your boss. Pleasuring your boss by showing how hard you work for the company, for his profit. You start lacking, he starts bitching and nagging, throwing small, passive-aggressive signs at you. Oh, you didn't sleep well? I see. Oh, problems with productivity again today, huh? This leads me to the point that you should be important at your job, so that your bosses and higher-ups do not give you bullshit tasks like mopping the floor or unclogging the toilet or something, but also not being the most important guy at the job to the point where everyone relies on you, where you are filled with so much work to the point of exhaustion. It is a good feeling when someone needs you, but there is a limit. The build-up in pressure when you become responsible for many things. I mean, you will be respected, but one slip up and it's gone. When you mess up, you are the one to blame, because in these social workplaces, when somebody messes up, everyone will divert the responsibility from themselves to you. You're not paid enough to exert more effort at your job. Maybe you will be more respected by others, but I do not think that you should be taking that respect in high regards. So, learn how to hide, how to get out of sight, but also be important to the point where they cannot fire you easily. Learn the rules as fast as possible, because people are backstabbing manipulators who only focus on themselves. These social environments are like packs of wolves, preying on the weak and confused. When people see that you are new and that you are not familiar, when they want, they can manipulate you into doing things for them. Hey man, come over here, help me out here, man. Hey man, it is a tradition here that newcomers like you pay for our morning coffees. Hey man, you must always clean this and that after we use that. You know that? You get that? Go clean that shit up. Thank you. If those are not in your job description, and if your boss doesn't directly tell you that, do not accept. Do not do those. Because once these people see that you can bend easily, they will push for more. You buy them coffees, now they want some small dinners, some small sausages and a pack of small mayonnaise and some bread. You're helping out some random dude on a task, now you're missing out on your own tasks. When you give these people an inch, they will make sure that they will take a mile out of you. So you must always protect yourself, even if you do not view it like that. These conversations on your job, when people constantly tease and play with each other, I see that as warfare. Testing out each other to see who will fall first, who is the one who will crumble easily. If you are an introverted person, have low confidence, low self-esteem, low drive, and just your character is weak, they will find methods of exploiting that for their benefits. It is the same case with schools. How weaker kids are being bullied by stronger ones. Just in these adult cases, it is much more sophisticated. They won't just go there and punch you in the face and steal your cookie. They will just slowly start lowering your value in social situations by spreading rumors, gossiping, being passive-aggressive, and directly trying to show you to your own face that you are inferior compared to them. So you need to learn the rules fast, so that the bullies cannot exploit you for your lack of knowledge. Some jobs are truly just kindergartens and daycares for adults. You disagree with someone and insult him, and he goes straight to his boss to report your uncooperative behavior, and now you are at the risk of losing your job because you didn't know that in the rule book under Rule 69 on the page 127 it specifically states that insulting others at work will result in termination. Also, don't get shocked or start questioning yourself about your own value and you realize that you don't know anything when you arrive at your job. Many of these old heads already expect you to know what you will be working. So when you see some of them getting frustrated with you because you don't know what each tool is or what each function of the machinery does, or just in general how the system works, don't get shocked. Average Joe Schmoes and Oofy Doofies are deeply self-centered, so your incompetence spikes their cortisol levels, because they don't care about you. They see your existence as more weight on them, and instead of teaching you, they just make fun of you and get pissed at you. How don't you know that? Well, I was born in a generation where it was normal to play football and play Minecraft and train sports all day, every day. I didn't spend my youth stuck in some factory or in the Balkan War like you did. Of course I'm lacking behind in the knowledge compared to you, you ignorant, dumbass, fat slob. Show some sympathy for the young people that the world will rest its shoulders on, instead of just bringing everything down to the ground with you. Rant over. Let's continue with the video. The people that you worked with are not your friends. Just because you spend time with someone at your job and you talk and laugh and so on, that doesn't mean that you are true friends. They are your colleagues. As soon as you leave the place, you are nothing. Many people mistake themselves by thinking that their work colleagues are their close friends, whilst in reality, when everybody leaves the workplace to go home, nobody even thinks of each other anymore. That is the reason why you need to identify the difference between a colleague and a friend. You go out with friends. Friends are there to help you. They remember you and think about you sometimes. You have a mutual value system or share the exact same goal or passions in life, whilst a colleague is just making his time tolerable with you on the job. You have the same goal, which is to do work at your job. Yeah, I agree, but after that, there is nothing. One day you two are laughing, the next day one of you messes up at your job and the other rats you out. Don't get fooled by your emotions. That is the reason why after you left or after you leave high school, you will stop hanging out with the majority of your colleagues that you view as friends. I'm telling you this because in the same way of the law, everything you say can be used against you. People are snakes, man. When they want to climb the social hierarchy by stepping on others, they will do it. And they will keep gaslighting you, saying that it ain't that bad, dude. You're just overthinking it. Just because you are having fun with someone, that doesn't mean that he is your friend. Maybe in your eyes, yes, but not in his. So don't get fooled. People are two-faced. People wear masks. This leads me to the next one.
7 foot tall, goth Asian muscle mommies will come in your direction.
Do not overshare. Do not get your personal life involved with your job. Do not give out too much information about yourself. Imagine if I were to come to my job one day and just talk about the black pill and the red pill. Imagine if I just come to my job one day and tell some people that I have a YouTube channel with 300 subs and an average view account of 50 and that I'm hoping that it blows up one day so that I can leave this stupid 9 to 5 place and say goodbye losers. See you all in never time! Imagine if I come there and start saying that my participation at my job is very minimal and that I do not want to work because I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an influencer! I would be made fun of so hard, dude. I would get isolated quicker than an autistic kid sitting at the back of the classroom. There were some individuals at my job who kind of started revealing some personal things to me that they probably would never share with others. Some of them are certified gooners who have a lot of adult anime games on Steam. Some of them just love to spend their paychecks on hoes and oily massages with happy endings. Some of them do illegal stuff. All of those are leverages that I can use against them if in situations where they would just piss me off. Do not be in that position. Do not reveal too much. Do not give them any leverage. Reveal just enough. For example, if you're socially slow or you're lacking in social intelligence and people ask you, why are you so quiet all the time? Say that you're tired, that you don't sleep because you love playing video games. Always hide the worst with bad. That is what happened to me when I was new at my job. I did not talk to anyone for the first year, and many of them were confused and kind of pissed off because I was new and they wanted to know who I am, and I was just like refusing every single social interaction with them. Because it is easier to say, hey guy, I'm just tired. I like playing League of Legends until 2 in the morning. Instead of, I do not want to talk to you because you are an older, sex-obsessed guy who only throws sexual jokes because you are a certified gooner who is in a sexless marriage with 2 kids who don't like you, your wife cheats on you, you smell of alcohol, and your identity is overall not interesting and bland. And a little side note. Don't you find it incredibly annoying when you are in a group and you obviously do not want to interact with, and there is always that one guy that just has to put you in the speaking position by saying, hey, you are oddly quiet today. You're truly a quiet one. Hey, he wants to say something. Hey, he wants to say something. Oh my god, you finally have spoken up, dude. Cortisol spike through the goddamn roof. Which leads me to the point that you should never insult someone. Do not create enemies. Keep that in your head. You will not be in a good mental state when you constantly have to avoid that one guy who has something against you. If someone bothers you, report it to the boss. When you see some behavior that you hate, that pisses you off, report it to the goddamn boss. Let them hate the boss and not you. That is the reason why your boss is at the boss's position. He is suited for that activity and behavior. Because when you try and tackle the problem directly on your own, they will look at you and think, who is this smarty pants? You know jack shit, dude. I have been here since Vietnam, whilst you were still swimming in your father's hairy ballsack. Bugger off! Every workplace has groups. It is important to fit into some. Because even though you do not want to hang out with some people, when others see you isolated, that shows that there is something wrong with you, which can be used as leverage against you. It is good feeling to know that some people can back you up, but if you really go lone wolf mode, you will struggle, because lone wolves die alone. Implement yourself in some group, but do not disintegrate into the group to the point where you do not exist without it. You see that the majority of your effort in surviving the 9-to-5 workplace will go into the social area of the place. Most jobs are basically just social clubs. You go there, you talk to people whilst working there, you get paid, and that is that. You go home. That is the most draining part. If you're constantly surrounded with people you dislike, with people you find boring and dull, yet you have to pretend to be interested, that drains your energy like running 15 kilometers without stopping. At the same time, if you're isolated or you're just seen as useless at your job, that also drains you a lot. That is the reason why some people say that life is just like high school. People say, life is just one big high school, because many of the social dynamics you see as a teenager never truly disappear. So if you were a shy, isolated and bullied kid in high school, if you do not do anything about it, that life might just repeat itself again, just in the 9-to-5 environment. That is the reason why this video, how to survive the 9-to-5 workplace environment tutorial, survival guide, or how you want to call it, is more of a how to protect yourself in social situations guide, which means just learning social skills and understanding social cues. Because if you already have high social intelligence, this video is pretty much common sense to you.
Yes, it's my life. My rules, man, it's my style. So what? I like the way I like. I walk the way I like. I think the way I like the way I like. So what?
Look into the future. What you truly want to work and what you truly want to be. Because when you work at your job, you're essentially selling your time to someone. Either your boss or your company, which means you're feeding into the dreams of someone else and not yours. So never lose your vision. Understand that you're trading your time for money, but use that money for the thing you truly dream on doing. In short, work on your future self and not for your boss. Use the job to fuel your long-term goals instead of becoming loyal to the company that will replace you in a week. Have you ever seen people who are really dedicated for their job? Like their job is their entire life. Their job is everything in their life. I feel pity for these people because they truly value themselves based on their job performance. It is the same case with kids who only care about grades and assignments all day, every day. Have you studied for that test? Did you finish your homework about the Industrial Revolution and its consequences yesterday? Can you shut the fuck up, dude? Anyways, don't become a slave to someone else's dream. If you read or have watched Berserk, in the Golden Age arc, during that fireplace and camp scene where Guts is sitting under a tree during the night, he sees the fires burning, people warming themselves up on the light. Casca sees that as a good thing. They're all united under Griffith, and Griffith is giving them his warmth, whilst Guts sees them burning in his flame, losing their identities to him, for his dream. Once Griffith is gone, and once Griffith is nothing, they all become nothing. That is how I see people whose identity revolves around their job. Something to be afraid of. Destiny or future to be afraid of. Don't let others overtake your dreams.
और लोगों की परेशानियां बताएं.
Take notes on everything. Mental notes and written specifically to protect yourself from situations when you could be accused of something. People are self-centered. They will not remember the good things you did, the work you were doing last week, or your accomplishments at your job. They only remember when you did them wrong. Sometimes they remind me of the things I did wrong when I first came to my job, and now I'm remembered for my wrongdoings, which is annoying. But hey, that's just human nature. If you work low-end jobs, the jobs that the barrier to entry is very low, like, I don't know, MC Donald's employee, you will work with sub-5 people, in character and identity. Some people steal, and you can be accused. That is why you should take notes. Where you were. What were you doing? Recently, one of the tools got lost at my job when we were on some field work tasks. There were like 3 of us, and we brought a toolbox with us. We didn't have to use it for the majority of time, but it was opened once. And later we found out that we lost one small piece of equipment. All 3 of us were accused of losing government-issued equipment. And it is expected that all 3 of us search and pay for that. I wasn't the one who opened the toolbox. We specifically said that there was no need for opening the toolbox. Yet, one dumbass still had to play with it and later misplaced the tool. And now we lost that tool. That is why you should take notes. Where were you and what were you doing? Protect your alibi. People often shift the blame away from themselves. And sometimes it looks so funny. Imagine there are the 2 of you and you're doing some random tasks on some random machinery, and the other guy messes up. They will say, I didn't mess up. Then who did? Well, I didn't. Did your colleague mess up? I don't know, I just know that I didn't mess up. Imagine. They're shifting the blame, but are at such a level of cowardice to not even put the blame on you directly. And that is that for the video. As I said, most of these things or most of these advices will revolve around the social aspect on the workplace. Because that is the most dangerous part. People are the most dangerous part. As I said, I could literally be doing anything, but the problem is the people. The people are always the problem. To finish off the video, treat your job as a side quest. Learn how to fake tasks. Learn the rules quick, as fast as possible. Realize that your colleagues are not your friends. Do not overshare to them. Do not create enemies. Implement yourself in some group. Just do not get isolated. Get better at social skills. Remember what you are working and think about your dreams. And for the last part, document everything. That's that for the video.